Child, so it's giving Carlos King and Marceau Scott and them finally got bald-headed ass Martell up out of Love and Marriage Huntsville. Because he was a no-call, no-show for this own event unless he showed up late, or I don't know if he riding for dandruff and Ariane couldn't come, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. I'm gonna show y'all how they flicked it up for OWN's Christmas event. I'm gonna give you an update on the Tamar and Funky shit from last night. In case y'all wasn't up last night, I told y'all don't fall asleep. Exactly. Sleep is for the weak. We are here to get tea, friend. Exactly. So in case y'all was on my live last night, I went live right after Funky Dineva spilled all of the tea about Tamar and Mendices. Mendices is over in the UK in London talking about he gonna be back in February. Yandy is radio silent. Tamar ain't said shit either. Exactly. But I'm going to give y'all a quick update about what started all of the beef. We're also going to talk about Kandi and Todd because while I was out, Kandi updated her divorce claim. So we're going to talk about that, and she's going to use some footage from the show. I'm going to show y'all the footage and then tell y'all what I think. Pick Mishas don't come from my neck today. Exactly. It's been a rough day. No, it ain't, but still. We also gonna talk about Wendy and Eddie. I was gonna say they went to jail. Child, they went to court today. Bravo. Why all of your people in court, friend? Why are we talking about all this legal jargon and drama? Exactly. But we're gonna talk about Wendy and Eddie. We're also gonna talk about the Diddy documentary. So the Diddy documentary on Netflix, it dropped today. It dropped last night at midnight. 50 Cent produced it. That's why it's so salacious, yada, yada, yada. I watched the first few episodes, so I'm going to give you a synopsis on the first few episodes. I'm going to watch the other episodes, and we just go keep going as we go. Exactly. But tonight, Salt Lake City come on, and I'm going to tell y'all what Andy said about Jen Shaw. Because tell me why Jen Shaw about to get released from jail, but Andy Cohen said, I don't know that hoe. I don't fuck with that hoe, and she will not be back on my show. I guess, friend, exactly. So that's all of the tea we gonna talk about today. Make sure you like the video. Make sure you subscribe. I appreciate everybody going live with me and kicking it with me last night. Because I didn't get to cook last night, today, as soon as I get done with this video, I'm making me some, hold on. I got my stuff out right now. I'm making me some salmon pasta. It's kind of like Tuscan salmon pasta or like marry me salmon pasta. Anyway, I'm gonna post the short and I'll post like the whole little process on Instagram. So make sure y'all following me and doing all the things. Exactly. Okay, so let's start out with, before we get into Eddie and Wendy, no, we're gonna talk about the Funky Them update. But first, before we get into all of that, friend, can we talk about this? Do y'all remember Young, Famous, and African? For those of y'all who don't know what Young, Famous, and African is, it's one of my favorite shows on Netflix. It's a reality TV show based in Africa, based in South Africa, but it has cast members from like West Africa, from Nigeria, from Ghana, from like all over Africa, whatever. Everything is very opulent, it's very over the top. If y'all know who Swanky Jerry is, he's a fashion designer. He's crossed over to America. He's big in the streets. Remember Annie, right? So we talked about Annie on her birthday because Swanky and Annie got back cool, right? So Annie was married to this dog and nigga named Tubaba. Now, Tubaba is a very famous artist in Africa. My African homeboys told me he was like the equivalent of like a Drake or a Future, or a Kanye. Like that's how big Tubaba is in African culture versus American culture. So Annie, even though she was crazy at that thing, she married like this huge artist who was always allegedly cheating on her. He had a bunch of babies on her while they was married, so on, so on, so on, so on. So she went to rehab because she was going through a thing. They ended up getting divorced or whatever. She was on some Still I Rise. She looked good as fuck for her birthday. She's a Scorpio, which didn't surprise me. Baby, but tell me why. Shout out to my girl Kanisha. Shout out to KB. We went to college together, friend. Baby, why it's on site then reported that Tubaba got arrested because he put his hands on his new wife. So, bitch, Annie wasn't a problem. Annie literally held you down while you had babies on her. And to bye-bye, he was on a few episodes. If you watch, let me know if you watch Young, Famous, and African on Netflix or whatever. But yeah, remember he was on like a few episodes or whatever, and he was low-key flirting with the new girl, the little light-skinned girlie who was married to, who was Diamond Platinum's baby mama. I don't know. Let's look at the clip, friend, and we just gonna talk about what the hell going on, because it's giving. How you still having problems with the new girlie if Annie was the problem? Apparently, Annie wasn't the problem, baby. You was the problem. Exactly. Okay, so this is from It's On Site. It says, Tubaba was arrested in London after an alleged altercation with his wife Natasha at a supermarket. Mind you, his new wife, her name is Natasha. She's a politician in Nigeria. Girl, it says in a viral clip, the two were seen having a tense exchange in a supermarket before authorities were called. I bet you he was cheating. Let's listen. So this him getting escorted out in handcuffs. Y'all see him? That's him in the police. Look at him. This her fussing and hollering at his ass. Don't do that! Don't do that, girl. He was licking on the.
Don't fucking do it! Everything but stop for me. Yeah. I'm not doing that. Why are you talking about that? Why Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do it. Don't fucking do it.
She keeps saying, "Don't do that." I wonder what he's doing. This is during their proposal. So he proposed to her when his divorce wasn't even final from Annie. And still, Annie, I need you to post something and be like, and still I rise. Exactly. He said, now this is my world. Beg her to marry me. Just like a ninja. Whether he an African ninja or a black ninja. He begged you to marry him and then he took you through strife. Justice for Annie. Money. I'm sorry for you. My whole thing is, if I watch Young, Famous, and African, and I'm sure because we in America, we don't even know the real tea like the Nigerians do, which is crazy because my Nigerian homeboys, when I tell them that I'm covering, like I talk about Young, Famous, and African and Tubaba, they start telling me all of the tea. They know way more than we know. Trust me, friend. Exactly. So any woman, I don't feel sorry for Miss Natasha. First of all, you're a politician, so you must be an educated woman. You saw him have a whole bunch of babies on Annie this whole time, and you thought he was going to treat you better? I ain't saying you get what you get, but get what you get while they're getting this good. I don't know, child. Anyway, so this was the highlight of last night. In case y'all wasn't there, in case y'all did not watch my live last night where I had to resort to drinking some white wine because shit was crazy, Funky put Tamar on blast last night. Now, mind you, I went live right after Funky's live. I was literally in the car on my way home. I had to slow down because I was too crunk, too turned up to the music. I said, let me listen to some YouTube shit. Turned it on Funky and then tuned in on what he was saying about Tamar. I did not have the backstory of it all. So I'm going to play the clip that started all of the beef with Tamar and Funky, and y'all already know how I am. The second Tamar posts something, the second anybody post something, I'm gonna be on it. But this is what started it all. It was the interview with L'Oreal in the Morning Hustle. I watched the full interview. I played a clip last night, but I wasn't able to watch the full interview.
I'm still up in the air about how I'm gonna respond to Tamar. Okay.
And I stand 10 toes down on the fact that mind you, in general, and I've said this plenty of times, if y'all follow me, if y'all true Jada Jewel, you already know what time it is. I'm never gonna tell your secrets. I'm like a diary. You can tell me I sucked Zick in the alley, I stole $1 million. It is what it is. Like, what, you want a cocktail, bitch? Let's talk about it. Exactly. I'm never gonna tell your business. However, I do understand if somebody is putting you out there like that in y'all public figures and you keep trying with them and they keep fucking with you. He kept trying with Tamar. He told her, bitch, okay, if you keep trying me, it's bad enough you're not coming out and exonerating me like I didn't do anything to you. So it's bad enough that you didn't say that your friend didn't do anything to you. But on top of that, you keep talking shit, bitch. I'm gonna give you one more chance. I'm sorry, I'm a Scorpio. We have a vindictive nature. I've evolved, but I ain't that fucking evolved. So I'm team funky on this one.
Okay, but Tamar recently did an interview with,
and a lot of people, I'm sorry, before I go on to say that, a lot of people have commented and was like, okay, well, Funky just was diagnosed with prostate, I believe it was prostate cancer diagnosis. I think it was stage 1, and he said that he wanted to get surgery to get it out. First of all, I usually don't speak on people's health stuff because to me, health is like above all. It's like, you know, really sensitive. It's above the gossip and what the fuck we talking about. So prayers to him. A lot of people were like, oh, well, he should be worried about his health. He is worried about his health. But if Tamar ever gave a fuck, bitch, if you ever cared about him, this man is going through a health crisis and you still on her and seeing you. I don't know. Tell me if y'all think it was shade or not, though, because I think that's like the dissension amongst social media, whether what he said with L'Oreal was shade or not. She didn't mention Funky Dineva's name. She said that she had a birthday party for a friend. I don't like the snickling and giggling behind the friend. That's what would have pissed me off, because to me, the snickling and giggling was shade. Her inflection and her tone was like a friend. And whole time now, in retrospect, now that I think about it, you did throw a birthday party for him because the name did say Tamar when you walked in the club. It didn't say happy birthday Funky. It didn't say Funky Dineva. It didn't say Quentin Latham. So I don't know, y'all. Tell me what y'all think.
with
so this is the
L'Oreal,
origin of it all.
And I don't know. She just did something I didn't like. Take a look.
Are you aware of what really happened to you?
No.
Okay, so this is the tea. This was the interview with L'Oreal where she discussed what happened to her. We still don't know why her. Ooh, I ain't heard from this man in a long time.
But can you talk about?
I can talk about it, but I'm not aware of what really happened to me.
Yeah.
All I know is that I went to a friend's birthday party.
I know your picture showed up.
I gave a friend a birthday party.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, let me take you on my life.
Hello.
You thought was your friend.
Well, we ain't even gonna touch on
Wait,
that.
okay, bye.
I came home like I would normally do. Well, you kind of know the spill. I come home, I'll take a shower, I'll wash my face, I'll come back in the kitchen. You know, we'll have, have more.
Okay, so the rest of the interview is irrelevant. Tamar, I'm gonna speak to you directly. I never wanted what transpired between me and you to transpire. I didn't.
Okay, I'm sorry. In case I was
you kind of know the spill. I come home, I'll take a shower, I'll wash my face, I'll come back in the kitchen. We'll have, have more.
The fact that she like, hey, I came home, I da-da-da-da. You didn't say nothing about Mendices being there, though. Tamar giving me a lying-ass bitch.
To me.
Yeah.
All I know is that I went to a friend's birthday party. I gave a friend a birthday party.
Mm-hmm.
Look at that. I gave a friend a birthday party. That was shade. You didn't give him a birthday party from Funky Dineva's account. Unless y'all went to dinner and you was like, okay, because I'm Tamar, bitch, let's continue this party. Let's go to the club. And I know they're going to, pull the red carpet out for me. So, bitch, we finna do it up for your birthday. That's a great story, but it's not like you pre-planned the birthday party for them. And why would you do all of this knowing that he know you was fucking with a married man? But in another interview, Tamar said that, well, no, in this interview, she said she don't know Yandy. She never talked to Yandy. She never knew Yandy. Yandy dragged this hoe.
Hello.
She thought was your friend.
Well,
dragged this hoe.
We ain't even gonna touch on that.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I came home like I would normally do. Well, you kind of know the spill. I come home, I'll take a shower, I'll wash my face, I'll come back in the kitchen. We'll have, have more.
Okay, so the rest of the interview is irrelevant. Tamar, I'm gonna speak to you directly. I never wanted what transpired between me and you to transpire.
You know what? I'm going to stop this, but I 1,000% believe that Funky didn't want what transpired. The reason why I say this is because I've been watching the OGs of YouTube for a very long time. I can tell when they want to smoke. I can tell when they all for the shenanigans, they for the shit, and they for the happenings. And the only reason I am siding with Funky Dineva on this is because he gave her so much grace. And anybody, if you getting ready to pop off, if you a bad person, you be tripping, you crazy, you a Jocelyn Hernandez, you a Tommy Lee, you a Nene Leakes, you a bitch, you a Claudia Jordan, you just a girly who go in on a motherfucker. But if you give a person a lot of grace before you go in on them, when you finally go in on them, I'm on your side because I tried. I tried, Lord. I tried. And I'm here with Funky Dineva. So Tamar said something. She posted a little link to her video, which was given. She's not gonna comment on it. She just wants people to, you know what I'm saying, look at her video. My biggest thing with this whole drama, and I'll keep y'all up to date if Tamar say anything, if Yandy says anything, if Mendici, we know Mendici ass ain't gonna say shit. But my biggest question mark with this is if Tamar was fucking with Mendici's, why would you make a short film of it? Why would you document the fact that you fucking with this girl's husband? Why did y'all put it on film like y'all don't give a fuck about nothing? They don't give a fuck about nothing. The way they are playing in her face is diabolical. It literally is. Anyway, friends, so that's just a quick recap of what happened. If you want the full tea, go look at my live from last night. We covered it all. It was a blast. Exactly. Anyway, so let's talk about Wendy and Eddie Osefo. So Wendy and Eddie had a hearing today for their fraud case. Of course, in the earlier filings, they wanted their cases to be separated. I was for their cases to be separated because if Wendy was found not guilty, she could testify on behalf of Eddie. However, the judge found that they are going to be co-defendants. The judge found that they're going to be co-defendants. They're going to be tried together. I'm not sure, which I'm not, as legal savvy as one may think. I'm not, I want to be Annalise Keating. I don't know. But let's take a look at the reality rundown. I think it was the Wago podcast. I believe it was the Wago podcast that was actually there on site during the trial. Let me see. On TV. Which one was this? Was this? Hold on, y'all. I'm sorry. I'm trying to figure it out. The reality rundown. Okay. Okay. So it says, Judge rules Wendy and Eddie will be tried together again in insurance fraud case. So this was a picture that the Wago podcast, she's actually been highlighted on the Breakfast Club. She's very reputable. I'm sure y'all probably already know who she is. If y'all don't, make sure y'all go follow the Wago podcast. It says, Well, they filed to now have their cases tried together again. The judge granted it. They will no longer be separate and are back to being co-defendants. Back in court December 19th. Okay, so Wendy and Eddie are going to be in court December 19th. Y'all know I'm going to be there. I'm going to be in there with my flashlight on, trying to figure out what the fuck going on. Do y'all think Wendy and Eddie are going to be found guilty? I don't know. I think they need to find, in order for Wendy Osefo and Eddie to win this case, they must find that the prosecution obtained this evidence unlawfully. If they don't do that, the evidence is overwhelming. The fact that they found a lot of the stolen goods in their home after the search and seizure, it's just like damning, especially like the emails and shit. I only see them winning this case by proving that, hey, they found this evidence unlawfully. They didn't have a lawful reason to search our email and to search our home. Girl, I'm gonna pray for you, Wendy, because I'm Team Wendy. Okay, but the synopsis, the caption says, the Osefos were back in court today for their ongoing insurance fraud case, and the judge just made a major change. Wendy and Eddie will no longer be tried separately. Their cases have officially been merged again, and they're now back to being co-defendants. They're back in court on December 19th. Castmates will keep you posted as this unfolds. I'm still Team Wendy. I'm Team Everybody Black. They are giving the chocolate Coming to America, Wakanda. They family is beautiful. Wendy is giving all of the looks this season. Shout out to Paris, her stylist. If y'all don't know who Paris is Kelly's ex-stylist who she was beefing with Britt Edie about. Now he's styling Portia. He's styling Wendy. He's doing all of the things. He or she. I'm sorry, Paris, if I misgendered you. Exactly. Anyway, so tell me what y'all think about that or whatever. That's what happened in the case. So the next time we'll know anything about the Wendy and Eddie case is on December 19th. I'll be there with bells on. And we'll see what the tea is. Okay, so let's talk about Kandi and Todd real quick, friend. Okay, so last night while I was on live, Michelle Atielian went live. Shout out to her. If y'all not following her, she has the court docs, the updates on Kenya Moore and her eviction. She be having like all of the legal jargon and court docs, everything about the Real Housewives. Anyway, so she had the court docs on what was going on with Kandi and Todd. Kandi filed, I think it was like KJ Burris or something. She used like her first and her middle initial instead of her name. And that's why it was hard for people to find her divorce documents. The moral of the story is, so we know from yesterday that Todd finally filed his answer, and he wants primary custody of the kids. So on. Kandi filed an amendment. First of all, she wants the cases sealed. If I'm Kandi, I want the cases sealed because who knows what's going to come out. If he's trying to prove that Kandi is not around the kids and is not as close to the kids as he is, as far as her public persona, because we know that Kandi comes off as the good girl. Y'all revere Kandi as a good girl. I don't think she's a good girl, but that's what y'all think she is. So a man, he's going to try to smear Kandi. And I've said this since day one. I don't think that Todd is above using blackmail against her or her sexual proclivities? Her sexual proclivities against her. So if he got to say, oh, she was doing this off on the South Beach with a woman and da-da-da, I don't think Todd is above that. I think Todd is scandalous. I think Todd is calculated. And I think Todd will use any tactics that he needs to use in order to get his money. Mama Joyce was right. Baby, it's the biggest scheme Todd set up. And he was in it for the long run, not even the short run, friend. Exactly. So anyway, we know in Todd's answer that he questions the validity of the prenup. And maybe he was in duress. Maybe, he was pressured, yada, yada, yada. Now, okay. First, I'm going to tell y'all what Kandi's response, and then I'll tell y'all what I think. So in Kandi's response, which a lot of people have said, Kandi and them had a wedding special. I started watching the wedding special, so I see what Kandi is talking about. Kandi is using footage from Real Housewives of Atlanta and her wedding special. She had a separate wedding special outside of Real Housewives of Atlanta that shows that she gave Todd the prenup. And at the last minute, Todd signed the prenup. Her lawyer was on the line. He said that he wasn't under duress. He didn't have his attorney, yada, yada, yada. Let's just look at the clip real quick. But I'm going to tell y'all what I think. Not trying to say I'm Annalise Keaton or nothing, but I did go to law school. I didn't graduate, but I went to law school. Exactly. I might not have graduated, but I went to law school. Okay. So this says Kandi Burruss is, shout out to Reality Entertainment TV. It says Kandi Burruss is using Bravo footage as evidence in divorce after her estranged husband, Todd Tucker, claims he was asked to sign their prenuptial agreement without his lawyer present. This was 4 hours to wedding. Mind you, I understand what he said, but the fact that they posted that this was 4 hours to the wedding, that's pressure in itself. I have to sign something 4 hours before our wedding. I'm Team Kandi on this one. I'm 100% Team Kandi. I'm just playing the devil's advocate and showing y'all how his lawyer can spin this.
Hey, how you doing?
Todd.
How you doing?
Castillo.
Nice to meet you.
It's nice to meet you.
Hi, Todd. I'm Kate.
Marge is my notary.
Okay.
Ray.
So they got the lawyer, they got the notary. It's given maybe he was bombarded. I'm just speaking. I'm playing devil's advocate. If I'm his lawyer, this is what I'm gonna say. Mind you, his lawyer is Ryan Kessler, the one who got Portia her money and Nene her money.
Reagan is going to be one of the witnesses. Kate will be the other witness.
I decided to sign a prenup against my lawyer's advice.
I decided to sign a prenup against my lawyer's advice. He could literally argue that, hey, this was my legal advice, but because they were in my room, it was 4 hours before the wedding. I loved her. I decided to sign it. I'm giving y'all what the argument may be.
In the end, I know all this legal stuff is not going to keep me from being with Kandi. You do many of these on the day of the wedding?
I just loved her that much. I signed it anyway.
I have done a couple.
Yeah.
Sidebar, and I'm going to let this play. Another thing, a lot of people noted that Todd had this prenup 2 to 3 months, or he had it long before this ever occurred. The fact that he had it before and he waited until the cameras were around, he waited until to capture this on camera. Y'all underestimating Todd and y'all overestimating Kandi. I'm sorry.
All right, I'm rolling.
Okay.
All right, let's do it.
Okay, ready. This is a video recording of the execution of the prenuptial agreement between Kandi Burruss and Todd Tucker. You acknowledge that you have had a sufficient amount of time and opportunity to fully consider the prenuptial agreement and to request changes to the prenuptial agreement.
Yes.
You understand that you're giving.
He's saying this whole situation could be under duress. He could argue this whole situation is under duress. Even though he said yes, he's surrounded by her team, a camera crew that's going to be filmed on Bravo, and he don't have anybody, any of his legal team. He got a good case, friend. I apologize.
Giving up your rights to periodic alimony, lump sum alimony, alimony in kind, attorney's fees, and expenses of litigation, property settlement, equitable distribution, and community property.
Yes.
You understand that wife may dispose of any of her separate property as defined in the prenuptial agreement without your participation or signature.
Yes.
You believe that the provisions of the prenuptial agreement are fair, just, reasonable, and equitable.
Yes.
You are signing the prenuptial agreement freely and voluntarily without coercion or other undue influence by wife or any third party.
Yes.
There have been no threats of bodily or other harm or other actions against you amounting to coercion.
So we go on. We go on. The moral of the story is I can see why Kandi doesn't want this to be in the public, why she wants it to be sealed, because we don't know. And Kandi fans, don't drag me. Don't drag me. Mrs. I am telling you, don't drag me. But what I'm saying is Todd knows a lot of intimate details that we don't know. And I know Kandi don't want that to come out. The fact that she wants it sealed, she knows that Todd may take it there if he needs to take it there. He's never been afraid of a fight, even with Phaedra and all of the things. So I'm sorry, y'all. And I know that she has this. So she admitted that evidence into play. The evidence don't mean shit. To me, the evidence can still be construed as he was under duress. Even if she got it on camera that, hey, we filmed you. You said you wasn't under duress. I could say, hey, I was on camera. It was 4 hours before my wedding, and I was under duress. I was around her whole team, and I didn't have my legal team with me, even though my legal team told me not to sign this. I think Todd knew what he was doing the whole time. I've been told y'all Todd was trash, but y'all was talking about me, talking about he's a good man. No, the fuck he ain't. I told y'all about that. I don't give a fuck about it. Anyway, tell me if y'all think that Todd is going to win in this divorce. Is he going to get the money from Kandi? I feel like Kandi is going to pay him child support. I don't feel like any reasonable judge would not award Todd sole physical custody if Kandi is not proven to be an unfit. But does he have evidence that Kandi may be proven to be unfit? That was another thing I was wondering. Is that the reason why she wanted to be sealed? Does Todd have evidence that Kandi was proven to be an unfit mother? We already have the daddy daycare where they were saying, hey, mama, I miss you, yada, yada, yada. Does he have... I would not put it past Todd to have videos or recordings in the cut to show that Kandi wasn't there for them kids. I don't know. Anyway, let's talk about OWN real quick. Let's talk about OWN. Let's talk about Love and Marriage Huntsville. The last time we talked about Love and Marriage Huntsville, I told y'all about the call that I got about Lance Fletcher. I'm giving this person a minute to come forth. I ain't on no blackmail shit, but girl, I mean, you the one came to me. You called me friend, exactly. So I'm giving this person a minute to decide whether or not they want to da-da-da. If not, make sure you subscribe to my membership, because this weekend, if this person don't want to tell everything da-da-da-da, then we'll do a members only live, and I'll tell y'all what this person told me on this on this telephone call. Exactly. And it ain't just, like I said, I got, my friend was here. He can tell you, yada, yada. It was insane. It's good. It's good. I ain't gonna say it's good because it's bad, but it's crazy. Like, you know what I'm saying? Anyway, so make sure you subscribe to my membership. Exactly. So if I don't come to y'all with an exclusive interview about Mr. Lance Fletcher, then we'll do it in the members only, and I'll tell y'all all of the tea that was told to me on Mad Day from a person that's very, very close to Lance. Extremely close. Exactly. Anyway, so OWN had a holiday special. If y'all don't know, like it, after the next 2 episodes, they're going to have a holiday special for OWN or whatever. So OWN had a Christmas party. I believe it was just this last weekend. So all of the girlies and the boys was at the OWN Christmas party, except for Martell, Latavius, Cartavius, Delavius, Holt. Exactly. Okay, so let's look at these clips that I found from the OWN Christmas party. Let's get into some Love and Marriage Huntsville shit. And it's giving Martell, child, I hate to keep reiterating this, but child, once Mel left, you didn't lost your damn mind. Okay. So this is, let's roll it back. We see Tommy, we see Ayanla, because in case y'all don't know, Ayanla is coming back to Uncle.
Right.
Okay, so we see Tommy, we see Ayanla.
Oh, no.
Destiny with the gold. That's Carlos. These are the girlies from Love and Marriage Huntsville. This on the left, I kind of cut her off a little bit in the burgundy. This is Ro with this blonde hair. Shout out to Ro from Heart and Hustle, Houston. This is Miss Nell looking short and stout with this little with these petals at the bottom with her big bouffant blonde hair. This is Destiny. I didn't like this dress. I didn't like the color. It was like mustard. It didn't flatter her body either. And I'm not trying to body shame anybody because Destiny is not a big girl, but it didn't flatter her stomach area. We see Tisha. Tisha is in a red off-the-shoulder shirt, off-the-shoulders dress. I'm not mad at Tisha, but it's giving Fashion Nova. I literally got this dress in my cart at Fashion Nova. Literally, friend. Literally. And then we got Tisha. I mean, not Tisha, but Trish. Trish looks the best. Look at these kitten heels Tisha got on. The kitten heels that Destiny got on. This this pastor's wife, low, whatever she got on at the bottom of her dress, Miss Neal. Trish got on the cute heels. And she got on a cute little chocolate dress with a little updo. Trisha is giving best dress to me. And we see the men over on the side. Ken looking like full force. Got his chest out with a gold chain. Got his plate of deviled eggs. That's actually Chloe too, over in the corner in the black. I'm sorry, Destiny. I don't like this outfit on her. Amazing. I don't know what Kimmy got. I have no idea what Kimmy has.
Food. What is your favorite holiday food?
Favorite holiday food?
This is Munera from Heart and Hustle, Houston. She looks cute. She looks classy. I'm here for it.
And that all of it. You name it. No.
What are you looking forward to?
Okay, so this Destiny, like I said, I just don't, for a Christmas party, I just don't like, and I don't know what the hair is giving. I'm not sure if the hair is supposed to give straight bust down, crinkly, wavy, a crinkle wave. I don't know what the hair is supposed to give. Nothing was giving. And Destiny is a pretty girl to me.
To in this new year?
Just peace and like prosperity and just evolution.
Mm-hmm. What does that mean for you?
So she said she wants to give peace, prosperity, and evolution. It's given, those are the words that you found in your daily affirmations, but you don't know what the fuck that means.
That means just peace in my life, like being a great mother, being an evolving.
Girl, you got partial custody.
In business and just loving and living life.
Hold on. I'm sorry, y'all. One more time for
new year.
Is this her supposed to be bone straight with a bust down, or is it supposed to be crinkly curly? What the fuck was going on?
Just peace and like prosperity and just like evolution.
What does that mean for you?
That means
for me, it shows her little pudge of a stomach, and Destiny don't have a bad body. So
just peace in my life, like being a great mother, being an
you see her trying to find the words, child. Look at him. He looking like, what she say? Look at him. What happened?
Evolving in business and just loving and living life.
He don't know what the fuck she talking about, and she don't need.
Is Christmas your favorite holiday? What is one of your favorite things about Christmas?
This is Miss Girlie. This is Miss Girlie from Heart and Hustle.
Bringing family together. My family has created a tradition where we look at Christmas lights Christmas Eve. So every year we just drive around neighborhoods and look at Christmas lights.
I like it. I like it.
Okay. So they posted this multiple times. Marceau reposted it, Chris reposted it, So we see old ass Maurice. First of all, Maurice look old as fuck. Maurice look bloated. Hold on, let me run this back.
Is Christmas your favorite holiday?
I like it.
Maurice look old and bloated. Let's be clear. He look old and bloated like a blue dolphin. Yo, big blue fish ass. Exactly. Chris Fletcher is a young man at the club. Chris Fletcher always think he fly. Look at this little pose that Chris Fletcher do. He is ready. Miss Nell, watch out for Chris Fletcher. Because that salt and pepper, I don't trust him. Ken punk ass with his red shoes, he looking like he came straight from the Mississippi Delta. Exactly, in his red suit. Marceau didn't look like he didn't finally lost a few pounds and he ready for all of the action. We got Carlos King and back here we got the producer. Where the fuck is Martell Hope? Where is Martell Holt? My biggest thing is, where is Martell Holt? Ain't this show? Martell Holt, didn't you say this was your show at the beginning of the season when you was going off? Remember, he said, this my show. When he was going off on Melody, he said, this is his show. Baby, how did show and you not at the Christmas party? Did they not invite Arion to the Christmas party? Did they not invite Arion to the Christmas party? Hold on, and this is Kenny. Hold on, I ain't.
All right.
What
are you looking for? Is Christmas your?
I like it.
That's Kimmy voice in the background talking about she like it. We know pick me.
Cause y'all know Love and Marriage Huntsville's fine.
She said, cause y'all know that's Love and Marriage Huntsville finest. Girl, Kimmy, with your girl. I ain't gonna. Okay. So tell me, do y'all think they trying to oust Martell out? Is it a wrap for him? Exactly, because Martell is nowhere to be found. Do y'all think that he wasn't invited? Did he not come? Or was he invited, but they didn't invite Orion? And then you know how Martell is, so he decided not to come because Orion didn't come. I don't know, friend. Anyway, so let's talk about the Diddy documentary real quick, and then I'm gonna go. Okay, so Diddy. So today the Diddy documentary came out on Netflix. It was co-produced by 50 Cent. I told y'all yesterday he was on Good Morning America, I believe. Anyway, the first part of I've only watched the first few episodes, the first 2 to 3 episodes. The episodes are literally like 40 minutes, almost an hour, and it's a lot. It's a lot, friend. They go over his childhood, how Miss Janice used to basically low-key have a speakeasy. That's what they was giving. Like, it was pimps, it was hoes, it was everybody at his house. They allude to the fact that Miss Janice was beating the dog shit out of Diddy. Like, she didn't regularly whoop him, but she beat him. And I didn't want to go too deep into it, but the older generation, they used to beat the kids. I'm talking about extension cords, switches. And for my folks in the Black community, y'all already know. These old folks, they used to whoop their kids with switches, extension cords, fucking the damn gray boys. That, you know what I'm saying? So that's like a bigger issue of abuse that I guess we didn't want to discuss. Of course, Miss Janice didn't want to, comment on it or whatever. So they talked about his upbringing, how he came forth in the industry, how he was a backup dancer, yada, yada, yada. He met Andre Harrell. His first major thing was like working with Mary J. Blige and Jodeci. He cultivated their style, their look, their sound, everything or whatever. They also talked about how he made this, he was like throwing events and shit. So he had this celebrity basketball game where 9 people passed away because it was like a stampede because he over promoted it. I didn't know that. I had no idea. Exactly. They talked about him getting with Misa. In case y'all don't know who Misa is his first baby mama. Misa is Justin's mother. And for those who don't really necessarily know the tea outside of it, remember on Big Papa, I love it when they call me Big Papa. She the girl with the blonde, with the white blonde and like the little Mickey Mouse buns or whatever. She's the girl in the blind on the Big Papa video. I always wanted to know who she was. I figured it out a long time ago, but that's who Misa was. Misa turned out, of course, now we know Misa is like a huge fashion icon in the hip hop community, yada, yada, yada. But at the time, Misa was cool with Eric Sermon. And Eric and Rakim, if y'all don't know, they're hip hop icons. So Eric Sermon was in the documentary. It was a lot of people in the documentary. So it was Joy, Kalina, Eric Sermon. Joy Dickerson was the person who he first allegedly assaulted. She tells her story. Kirk Burroughs is the person who does a lot of the narrating throughout the first part of the documentary. And Kirk Burroughs is the person who started Bad Boy and who is like Diddy's childhood friend. And he talks about how Janice used to beat his ass, how she beat him. So I can see how she introduced him to violence. He also speaks of a time where Janice was questioning the fact that he like went into the music industry and he slapped the dog shit out of his mama. So I don't know. According to Mr. Kirk Burroughs, Diddy used to smack the shit out of his mama too, and curse her out and call her a fucking bitch. What did he say? He called her a bitch and slapped the dog shit out of her. Anyway, so Joy Dickinson, she's another victim who alleged victim or whatever. She also testifies. She says that they had like a huge party because he used to have these huge parties at Andre Harrell's house or whatever. And they had a huge party and she was helping him clean up the party. But later on, he drugged her and assaulted her allegedly. And then he used to have parties where he used to like have these big TV screens and show him having sex with these girls on a big TV screen. And that was just a part of his repertoire. That was a part of his braggadocious personality. Mind you, let's be clear. Diddy is a Scorpio. Scorpio men have huge egos. Scorpios in general have huge egos. Let's talk about Drake. Let's talk about Future. Let's talk about Jocelyn. Scorpios have huge egos. Exactly. It's all about whether you can keep that ego intact. So it doesn't surprise me that this man was like posting these women that he was having sex with or allegedly assaulting on like videos to show these other men like, hey, look at her. Eric Sermon was on the documentary and he said that, hey, I was just cool with Misa. I think he was fucking with Misa. But he said that Puffy was like infatuated with her and was messing with her, but used to beat her outside of the Uptown Records. Like he used to beat her and shit. And my whole thing is, nigga, if you knew he used to beat her, why the fuck you ain't help her? You a big ass nigga. Eric Sermon is way bigger than Diddy and Misa. So I was looking at the documentary like, why are you telling us this now? Did you help Misa when he was trying to whoop her ass? He also makes an account where he says that Misa was in his car and Diddy knocked on his car and ended up getting in the car, but Diddy wanted to fight, so they was gonna go somewhere to fight or whatever. But once they went there, Diddy told him, hey, listen to this Biggie track. Bitch, you didn't want to fight him? Like, it was crazy. I don't know. Anyway, it was really strange. They basically chronicle how everybody is in fear, is scared of Diddy. You know what I'm saying? They eventually become scared of Diddy because he has all of this power. He started off as Andre Harrell's assistant. He becomes the VP and the head of AR. he starts running Jodeci and Mary J. Blige. Remember when My Life becomes #1? Share My World. Exactly. Hold on. Share My World was a different album. Oh, what's the 411? I'm sorry. Real Love. I'm searching for a real love. That's when Mary J. Blige got with KC and KC. And Casey allegedly had her on them narcotics. Exactly. But that was the time of Diddy. So he was like #1. He like blew up, yada, yada, yada. They also talk about, so they transitioned into like how Diddy became like this big mogul, how he became like larger than life. He overcame like this celebrity basketball game where 9 people passed away because they were stampeded. I never knew anything about that. That was my first time hearing that story. But they said that's why the public in general, that's how they found out about who Diddy was, because he had this celebrity basketball game and 9 people passed away because they were stampeded, because there was that much like energy. You know what I'm saying? It was that much shit going on. Anyway, so then they transcend into the Biggie and Tupac era. They speak with O'Keefe, the man who is allegedly on trial in 2026. He's supposed to get sentenced for allegedly unaliving Tupac or whatever. And his ex co-founder, so Kirk Burroughs is the guy that is narrating most of this documentary, at least the first half of this documentary, because he knows Diddy. He grew up with Diddy. They founded Bad Boy together. So he's telling about like the transition of like Sean Puffy Combs to Diddy and like this monster that he has become. Anyway, so Kirk is telling us how he transcended like from being, you know, the assistant, and then he became like the VP, and then he started Bad Boy. So when he started Bad Boy, he got with Clive Davis. Clive Davis funded him like, I think it was like $3 million or something. And then like Puffy took like $1 million. He told him to get $1 million, so on, so on, so on, so on. He got with Craig Mack. He got with Biggie, and then that's how the Biggie and Tupac shit started. And he started talking about how Puffy was basically jealous of the fact that Biggie and Tupac was cool. In case y'all don't know, for the girlies who don't follow hip hop like that, we all know that Biggie and Tupac was cool at first. They was cool. They was going to each other's shows. They was cool. But Puffy didn't like the fact that Biggie and Tupac was cool. I can see that because Scorpios are very territorial. I'm not saying this is true. This is just my opinion. I'm very territorial. If you my best friend, bitch, you not that best friend. You know what I'm saying? I think Scorpios in general, we very territorial people. So I can definitely see that. Anyway, so he talks about all of the coincidences between like Pac getting murdered. His mama Janice was cool with like these East Side Crips from California, and allegedly O'Keefe and the other people are East Side Crips. They were involved with Pac fighting in Las Vegas and subsequently getting shot at, which led to his death. It was good. I ain't gonna lie, friend, it was good. So after this video, I'm gonna watch the rest of the video because I think it's gonna get better. There was a clip on It's On Site about Kalina. Kalina did show up in the first few episodes. I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna leave. Kalina looked bad, friend. Kalina looked bad. I don't know. I ain't gonna say I don't want to put nothing on nobody, but Kalina, I don't know, baby. I don't know what Kalina on, girl. I don't know what Kalina on. I don't know. Let me show y'all the little clip. This clip don't even look like the clip from the documentary. Hold on. This is on the East Side. This is Bad Boy co-founder Kirk Burroughs that I was talking about. Claims he witnessed Diddy slap his mother Janice Combs and call her a bitch in the new Diddy documentary. I just told y'all.
You know what was going to happen.
And I saw Janice question Sean. He's going into this music business thing. He just left school, and now this extreme tragedy has occurred. She's like,
what's one thing that you think fans?
I want y'all to see Kalina. Okay, this is okay. Hold on. It says Kalina says right before Diddy started calling her repeatedly, begging for a statement, she asked him for $5,000 for her custody battle, and he denied her. Mind you, once the trial started, remember, they revoked his bond because they said he kept calling Kalina and they thought he was intimidating a witness. So, bitch, you was asking him for money. My whole thing is, girl, you broke up with that little fine little light-skinned boy? And why is he asking for full? Why do you have a custody battle? But, baby, I don't know if they're going to show this, but Kalina looked Kalina looked crazy in the damn, in a documentary, friend. I don't want to put nothing on nobody, but she looked crazy.
You know what I'm saying?
The only person I could call in the beginning was Puff. Just trying to get help. Like, I need you to help me get more powerful lawyers. I was like, I need $5K.
Okay, so they were saying that Diddy was like bribing Kalina, but she was trying to get $5,000. If he wasn't trying to give her $5,000, like,
I can pay you back. And at the time, he was like, I can't help because I'm doing something else or whatever.
See, prior to this phone call,
mind you, throughout the whole documentary, they were playing the old footage that I told y'all about yesterday that they had from Netflix. So throughout the first parts of the documentary, they were playing footage of like 7 days, like a week before Diddy got arrested. A week before Diddy got arrested, he was with his crew. His son, the oldest one that looked just like, not the oldest one, but Christian, is that Christian that looked just like him? He was with him the whole time. I will say that. His son, he had him with him the whole time. But in the documentary, friend, you got to look at the documentary. Kalina, baby. Kalina looked like she need help. Kalina looked like she need help, friend. That's not what I just showed y'all on It's on Site. That don't look like what she looked like. She looks skinny. She looks frail. One thing about people, I'm not just a black person who be like, if you lose weight, like, girl, if you give fish face, if you give sunken in, then I'm a question what the tea is. Anyway, prayers up to Kalina, child, because it looked crazy. Anyway, so I'll give y'all the update once I continue watching the documentary on Diddy or whatever. So tonight, Love and Hip Hop Miami comes on. Hopefully Boots come on, because I'm not with Love and Hip Hop Miami unless Boots come on, because it's not giving anything until Boots come on. Exactly. Salt Lake City comes on, so tomorrow we'll talk about Salt Lake City, or maybe tonight. Andy Cohen came online and said that ain't no way in hell that Jen Shaw coming back. So Jen Shaw is getting released from prison this month, but Andy Cohen said, I don't give a fuck about none of that. I don't give a fuck about none of that. Jen Shaw ain't coming back. And literally, Salt Lake City is perfect. We don't need Jen Shaw back. We really don't. So I'm team Andy Cohen and his plate and his straw on this one. Anyway, friends, so tell me what y'all thought about the Tamar and Funky drama, to Baba and Annie, Wendy Osefo. We talked about a lot or whatever. I will talk to y'all later. Make sure you comment, make sure you like, and make sure you subscribe. I'll talk to you later, friend. Bye.